talking of Ascot, let's look back to Royal Ascot. Now, news today, Frankie Dettori appealed a 9-day suspension that he got for causing interference on board Saga in the Wolferton Stakes. His appeal was unsuccessful. The offence was found to be proved, and also the penalty stands. You've got a view on this, Seb. We're going to pick up the Wolferton. I'll pause as and when you want. We'll try and we should just highlight, this is where Frankie is, in there in stall number 3. So let's just play it through. And I'll slow it down at key moments for you, but tell us what we're seeing now.
We're seeing, this is Ryan going to the front. This is Highland Avenue, where James Doyle is going to sit in the pocket, and Frankie's just there.
And coming up on his inside is James McDonald here. And at this stage, the obvious thing to point out, Seb, is that the horse is already on the inside of Frankie. He was drawn on the outside of him, but he's already on the inside.
He's already on the inside, so they've already got their pitch. Now, what happens going into Swinley Bottom? We really need to slow it down.
Okay.
Right, the pace will drop on the front end here. Right.
Okay, so let me highlight for you the horse that you think is good. This is a horse we need to keep an eye on?
Both of these, yeah. The pace will slow down. They went very, very fast down the hill.
Because we're all focused still on, on this, but you're saying keep an eye on those
Keep
as well.
an eye on those, because the pace will drop. Now, watch Frankie and James McDonald here. Now, Frankie is out of control there. And for me, he's not manoeuvred his horse inside. When a horse's head is up in the air like that, same as James McDonald,
just highlight that for you.
They are trying not to bring themselves down. Frankie's gone into self-preservation mode. And
okay, let's just highlight that once again. You can see the horse's head up in the air there, and Frankie Dettori. So you're saying, well, you tell me, what is Frankie doing at this stage?
All Frankie's doing at this stage now is trying not to clip the heels.
So he's putting the brakes on.
He's putting the brakes on.
But
he isn't guiding his horse to the fence.
Well,
he's putting the brakes on.
This jockey may have a different view about that, because he's having to put the handbrake on.
He's got the handbrake on. I admit that, but they're running into a bit of a bottleneck at Swinley Bottom. Now watch Frankie now. He's not in much control. He's locking for where James McDonald is, and actually leaves him space once the initial bumping and barging had gone on. But the bumping and barging was caused because they dropped the anchor at the front.
OK, I'm just going to play that from the beginning in real time. While we do that, I'm just going to tell you what the steward said, because you said that Frankie's putting the brakes on. But what the steward said is Dettori was suspended for 9 days for careless riding, for shifting his mount right-handed when insufficiently clear, causing McDonald to take a significant check. So their view was not that this was something that just happened because the horses in front were slowing down. They decide that this is a manoeuvre. Well, he shifted his horse.
Well, where's Frankie's body language that's pulling this horse, that's manoeuvring this horse over to the right? That position a horse is in, you are not in control. All Frankie's trying to do there is try not to clip the heels of the horses in front.
Something else I've just spotted there. They're looking back from in front as well.
They're obviously screaming and shouting. But the problem is when they've gone so quick down the hill and they put the brakes on in front, there's no red lights coming on. All there is, you've got to try and be aware. But when you do that on a horse, now Frankie's horse maybe just stepped to the right, but Frankie was not in control. So your view is that what Frankie Dettori is doing is he's trying to brake because the horse is coming back in front of him. The stewards have taken the view that actually you've moved right, Frankie Dettori. What do they want him to do? Bring himself down?
Well, it's one or the other. Either he's braking or he's moved right. Now, maybe not his intention to move right, but he has moved right, and their view was that it wasn't.
I don't think he had much choice. I think the horse went in there. I don't think Frankie has manoeuvred his horse.
Is he putting the brake on or is he moving?
No, he's putting the brakes on.
Okay.
I've been in that position, and I've had and believe you me, if a horse shifts and you've got the horse's head in the air and you're trying to take a pull out of it, you have no control of what that horse is doing.
Okay, so a harsh decision
Oh, extremely harsh. And this happens in a split second. This is not happening over a sustained amount. I mean, I listened to all the pundits on the day, and there were some pundits that I'd rode against that yes, they had done that sort of thing.
What this is here is the guide for penalties.
Yeah.
So the first thing is if you've taken a slight check and it was minimal interference, you just get a caution for that. Increased interference, where you take the sufferer noticeably off the line 2 to 4 days.
Yeah.
Why the stewards have gone for this particular verdict is they've put it in the third category, which is the horse was allowed to hang and causing considerable interference. And again, if I just go to the stewards' comments just to see how they described it, caused his mount, shifted right-handed when insufficiently clear, causing McDonald to take a significant check, which caused his mount to become severely unbalanced against the rail. This in turn resulted in Curtis having to give certain lad a severe check. So their view was it was very significant.
Hang on a minute. Was Frankie taking a severe check? On that account of what they've just read out about James McDonald?
He's not been...
As Frankie took a severe check of his horse?
No, he's made that decision himself, anticipating what could have become a severe check is what the basis of your logic.
I'm sorry, I rode in like 16,000 races, and I know that being in that position is not nice.
So what it was a sort of knock-on...
It was a knock-on effect, and if they wanted to do jockeys, why are they not doing the jockeys that drop the anchor at the front end? They're all screaming and shouting. You could see James Doyle.
Well, they haven't changed their line, though.
I give up. It's just horses, and
I'm being devil's advocate.
I know you're being devil's advocate.
When I watched that, I think that was really quick.
I mean, it happened in a split second, but it happened because the pace dropped dramatically, and everyone's checked the horses.
Yeah.